obviously about if you're an AEW fan, you might not enjoy tonight because we're not going to talk about AEW, in the weeks leading up to WrestleMania. Well, if you're a WWE fan tonight, you're probably not going to get a whole lot out tonight because literally we are not talking anything WWE tonight. There was way too much great action on Wednesday for us to pass up, and we're going to hammer it all. Welcome to Wrestling with Egos. I'm Patrick, joined as I am each and every week by my best friend Brian and the newest member of the Madhouse, our good buddy Big Isaac. Gentlemen, what up?
Everything is everything.
What's up, everybody? Let's go. Let's do this.
Yes, sir. So, three AEW topics, and then as we discussed last week, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. Mr. Kriego over there has some almost like name that tune kind of trivia going. I can name this thing in 4 notes kind of deal, and we're gonna hit that at the end, and that's gonna be fun. Me versus Isaac, 1-on-1, mano a mano. Let's get right to it.
Let's go.
Let's get right to it because I have been waiting since Wednesday to discuss this. 3 words for you, boys and girls: blood and guts. Yes, sir. How could we not talk about this? I mean, there's just something about this kind of match that just, I think we were discussing in the pre-show meeting. #WarGamesJunkie.
It is your stipulation of choice.
Say what?
I said it is your stipulation of choice.
Very much so, and
and there will be a watch along on a War Games in the very near future, boys and girls. So don't you worry.
Hell, it could be what we just saw on Wednesday, and that wouldn't break my heart. Before we get into the specifics of what happened between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle, I'm going to ask you guys this because you guys have, especially Big Isaac, and Brian, obviously with his exposure to me and how much I love War Games, he's gone back in the ether and watched a ton of them. Where does this one measure up to not only the WWE War Games, but the old school War Games of the past?
For me, and this might not be that, big of a take or shocking of a take. For me, it's top 10, easy. I don't think it cracks the top 5 of any War Games that I've ever seen, but it is snugly within the top 10. Because you got to go a long way, in my opinion, to touch what WCW was able to do back in their heyday when Dusty was booking all of that. They're touchstones for a reason, folks. I mean, you go back and you watch the psychology, and you go back and you watch all the people that were made by this kind of a match. And the litany of people that have been able to participate in them. And then I love what NXT has done with theirs. Getting the women involved this past year was awesome. Everything Undisputed Era has been able to do in that kind of a match. One of my favorite moments of War Games ever, Kevin Owens being the mystery 4th man for Team Ciampa, and the horrified look on Adam Cole's face. I mean,
dude, to hell with that. The reaction from that Chicago crowd.
Yes. They went.
You can't manufacture that, bro.
No. So this one, and I'll just give you my takeaways really quick since I'm on a roll from, and then we can dissect it from there.
Yeah, man.
Go.
It is very clear to me now, as if we weren't convinced before, FTR gets it. They are willing to do anything that it takes to convince you of their love for tag team wrestling. Dax and Cash were bleeding within 30 seconds of both of them being in the ring.
Yep.
Which some people might think is excessive, but it's not blood for the sake of blood. It's blood to tell a story. Exactly. It's blood to back up everything that they've been saying for the past month on promos and parlays and things like that. And it's also clear to me that the next white hot baby face that AEW is attempting to position to get the rocket strapped to his backside is one Sammy Guevara, because that dude was involved in every aspect of this match from start to finish, and I loved it. Big ups to Sammy.
I agree, and I got plenty of notes in my head on this one, so I will open the floor to the big man, in camera dos. Isaac, what did you think?
I thought easily top 5 overall of all the ones I've seen. I liked it. Sammy Guevara was my MVP of that match. He did put in some work. I was very happy to see what I saw in that match. Very happy that Jericho did what he did, the way he did it for MJF. I liked Wardlow versus Jack Springer.
Hager, yeah.
Hager. You know who I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Right. It's skipping my mind at this moment, but I really like to see those big men who we've seen just go at it, just, tear it up. Everybody else put in the work. Really happy with what they showed me. Very excited about it. Very excited.
All right, so me being a War Games junkie, not only was I going to look at this as a fan, but yeah, I'm going to compare it to every other bleeping War Games match I've ever seen. Why? Because that's what I do.
Take a deep seat, folks.
Yes, because I love War Games. I mean, if there was ever a time to say shut up and take my money, it's in a War Games match. I'm in. I'll agree with you, Isaac, and I've seen every one of them. This was top 5. This was the best War Games match we have seen since the close of WCW. Yeah, I said it. This is better than anything than NXT has done, and those were all good. I'm not saying those were crap. All of the NXT ones are in that top 10. This is definitely a top 5. This is up there with the original of the Horsemen and Dusty and Nikita and the Road Warriors. This is up there with Sting's Squadron. I think it was Sting, the Steiners, and somebody else against the Dangerous Alliance. Which, in my opinion, that is the G. That is the GOAT of all War Games matches. This one had all the elements of desperation, fight, brutality, storytelling. It didn't rely that heavily on high spots till the end, but you know, escalation, boys and girls.
One of our favorite words here on Wrestling with Egos.
Absolutely. You can't enjoy Millennium Force until you get 325 feet in the air and then you're able to be dropped 90 miles an hour. If you cut that by 100 feet, it's just a roller coaster. Brian doesn't like roller coasters, so I'll move on. There were parts of this that I thought were great. I will agree with both of you. Sammy Guevara is made after Blood and Guts.
Quick sidebar on Sammy. I saw the tweet he sent out of he called it the aftermath.
Oh.
And I replied to him and I thanked him. I said, "Thank you, sir, for the work you put in, for the story you told. We appreciate you." I don't care. A couple people in the Twitter sphere liked it and that kind of thing. That's not why I said it. I mean, I said it because I was moved by everybody. I mean, if I had an audience with all 10 of them because it's clear that everybody left a piece of themselves. So
not just that, not just leaving a piece of themselves in the ring, but you could tell that all 10 of them put their all into it in terms of crafting it. Everything from the way that, the Pinnacle approached things and how they dominated literally until Chris Jericho hit the ring. I mean, it was the Pinnacle show until Jericho hit the ring, and it was just, oh crap. Never thought in a million years that Jericho would have ended up being the proverbial bull in the china shop in a War Games match. But hey, whatever works. There were a couple of things I didn't like. I did not like the fact there were a couple of like pacing issues. I'm getting really critical on this, guys. A couple of pacing issues that I didn't like. I didn't like toward the end where the Inner Circle is beating the ever-loving crap out of the Pinnacle, and they're all on the left ring. And, they've used the broken apart turnbuckle, and they're just, everybody's laid out. And then Wardlow comes in by himself 1-on-5 and starts laying them all out. And multiple guys in the Inner Circle are holding weapons, chairs,
that stretched disbelief a little bit.
Exactly. I'm like, okay. Now we're getting into a freaking Jason Statham movie, and this is getting like this is.
I have a very particular set of skills.
Yes, that's Liam Neeson, but you're on the right track. So I didn't necessarily like that because that was just like, oh, we got to get this spot in. That's at least what it felt like to me on that one. I did not like the fact that we go to commercial break. There is no picture-in-picture on this one. And Chris Jericho and MJF are now on top of the freaking cage. And
I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Because I watched this after the fact, and I rewound, and I'm like, nope, no picture-in-picture.
Instantly, Jim Ross is going into explanation mode. Here's my thing. If you're having to explain that, you should have shown that. That's not... Literally, you're setting up the finish. That's exactly what that was.
Technical question for you.
Okay.
And this might be a question you can't answer. Is there only a certain number of times you're allowed to do a picture-in-picture? Can you basically do... Okay, I'm just trying to explain and figure out an explanation for it, but
any other time any other time in any other part of the match, they've done that before and it's meant nothing. But this is what is your bread and butter. This is what you needed to highlight, and you didn't highlight that.
Right.
That's a huge problem.
They've gone into picture-in-picture between Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler, and they're in a rest hold for 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes. Exactly. But they don't go into picture-in-picture for this.
Pretty Peter Avalon will be your next eight. Just kidding.
I will drive to your house right now and slap the hell out of you right now.
Just don't even talk to me about that right now.
Yeah. Cut that man's mic. So I didn't like that. By the way, I did not cut Brian's mic. He's just killing that one. Thank you, buddy. So I hated Brian, shut up. I hated that part where it's just, okay, by the magic of television, you're now on top of the cage. Oh, here's the explanation as to how they got on the cage. Father Mucker, I want to see that. I need to see that. Because, again, you're setting up the finish to the match. We've only been waiting for a blood and guts match for a freaking year. Thanks, global pandemic bastard. And Tully gets the key from the ref, opens the door, and MJF and Jericho get out before it gets locked again. That's some crap I need to see. That's
an interesting development.
Right. Oh, very much so. So I really hated that. And then there's one other thing I absolutely hated. And it was right at the very end. I love surrender or I'm going to throw him off. Surrender or I'm going to throw him off. And they surrendered. I loved that because that's just dastardly, shithead heel. I loved it. What I didn't love was the payoff. You knew it was coming. It had to come. Chris Jericho had to go flying off that cage. And I am not here to talk about the crash pad. I don't give two craps about the crash pad. Here's what I give a crap about. The shove was anticlimactic. It was just, okay, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Okay, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Boop. No. 3 words for you. This is Sparta.
Yeah.
It had to be a little bit more violent, a little bit more purposeful, a little bit more, a super kick, whatever high impact move MJF has in his arsenal.
Well, MJF doesn't really have those, but it could have been literally front kick to the chest.
Yeah.
You needed an exclamation point, basically. You needed a huge exclamation point, and you didn't get it.
You got a tiny exclamation point. You got a as opposed to a
oh shit, basically.
Right. No, I got it for you. You got an oh crap instead of an oh shit. That part right there for me kept that from being a lot higher up in the food chain in terms of the mythos of all things war games, blood and guts, whatever you want to call it.
And since you're not here to talk about the crash pad, I will very briefly.
Go for it.
Okay. Rant mode on. Okay, wrestling Twitter. So you're going to sit here and you're going to denigrate AEW for having Chris Jericho land in a crash pad, right? Because there's no payoff, right? But you were the same people last summer that when Matt Hardy fell off a scissor lift onto concrete and kept wrestling against any better judgment, you had a problem with that too. So which is it, wrestling Twitter? Do you want safety at the, and a great match to boot, or do you want people to kill themselves for your entertainment? I'm not sure what you're doing here. Chris Jericho owes you nothing, really, if you think about it. The man's 51 years old. He's done everything there is to do in this business. If he's going to fall on a crash pad, maybe there's better ways to shoot it so that it doesn't look so fake and contrived. But at the end of the day, it's about keeping people safe. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Right.
Okay.
Wrestling Twitter, get it together. Rant mode off.
All right. Response. First off, if I'm going to talk about the crash pad, I'll simply say one thing. It was just shitty ass camera work. That's just all there is to it. Secondly, who in the hell do you think you are ripping my gimmick off?
I was going for shock and awe.
Well, I think you got it while I was.
You've told me in the past that anytime I want to use it, it's there for me to use. That's why I don't trot it out very often.
Okay, but here's the thing, Brian. When you do it, I've never. I think you can agree with me on this one. Brian is not the kind of cat that's going to sit in any kind of conversation, whether it's this kind of conversation or face-to-face, and straight up spew venom. Is he?
No.
That was the last thing I expected from the good brother from the good brother in the red shirt down in his basement. The Reverend of the Rant, the pastor of Pissed Off. I applaud you. That was restaurant quality.
Because when I watched the end of it, I thought, okay, I see they have a crash pad there, and I didn't even think two things about it. I thought, good, they're going for safety. MJF and Chris obviously worked that out. Okay, when I do get thrown off the cage, you have to make sure I get to my mark. And a lot of it was Chris, launching himself to that because, as you said, MJF didn't really shove him all that hard. It was just kind of like, wee, But there was still some choreography there between the two of them to get Chris to that spot. And what do you want him to do? If he lands on an entrance ramp, an unrigged entrance ramp, he's in a body cast, slurping soup for a month. The more I'm on Twitter, the more I start realizing how, out of touch some people are. And I'm not here to name names or anything. I don't remember where I read it, but it's just the match accomplished what it needed to accomplish. And I don't see how Chris falling on an actual ramp makes it any better. Mr. Swafford, you're raising your hand.
The only thing, excuse me, and I quote from multiple episodes of this show, the only thing in the world worse than wrestling Twitter is Star Wars Twitter.
Yeah.
Wrestling Twitter is toxic. Wrestling Twitter is, never mind. I was going to make a really horrible joke, and I was like, nah, I'm going to back off on that one.
Filter. Yay.
Yes. But it involved...
What? Wow, Filter. I'm surprised.
It involved multiple people of different races, and one of them may or may not be wearing a red baseball hat with white lettering on it.
Wow. Okay.
I'm being vague.
Moving right along.
Move.
You wanted to talk about Miro? Is that what I see here on the call sheet?
Yes, we're gonna let's talk about Miro, and let's just simply start it with one simple phrase. It's about damn time.
Yes.
Okay, so
you're about to hear me utter a sentence that you thought you'd never hear me utter. Next week, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Darby Allin's going to lose the TNT champion next week, and I'm fine with that. If this Miro is the one that takes it off him, I'm fine with that because, to be honest with you, the reign lately has been a little bit
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and you're not. I don't think you're using that positively. Yeah, and Darby's had a good run with it. It's elevated him. He's but this is the Miro we've been waiting to see since he showed up last year and started talking about the imaginary brass rings and stuff like that. He's not chumming around with 30 people backstage. He's just beating people up.
Ooh, this is the Miro that we were waiting to see when the son of a bitch was named Rusev and rolling up into WrestleMania on a tank.
Yeah.
We were waiting to see this guy years ago. And we never got him. And anybody with a half a brain could look at him and go, yeah, we can totally get this out of that guy. Heartless, ruthless, borderline psychopath, violent. He's a big, uber athletic guy. That's strong like bull. Hell yeah. I mean, turn this some bitch into Ivan Drago for all I care. I mean, except WWE just went with the Russian part instead of everything else.
Yeah.
I love what I've been seeing out of Miro the last few weeks, beating the ever loving hell out of Kip Sabian, just leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. You're over here saying you're fine if Darby loses next week. I'll do you one better. Darby Allin needs to die.
And he probably will. It'll be a 5-minute, fly swatter.
Squash match.
Oh, it needs to be. But figuratively speaking, Darby Allin needs to die horribly in this match. Because my thing with Darby, I think for me it's run its course, because it's getting to the unbelievable, in terms of like not realistic, not, my suspension of disbelief doesn't really exist anymore with Darby Allin. Darby Allin's becoming John Cena.
Pretty much after the cinematic match with Sting that they did. All the presentations since then. I mean, that, the cinematic match was great.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was wonderful. But then after that, it's just been kind of like, okay, I feel like I've seen this already.
Yeah, and to a degree, they're turning him almost into like, the John Cena, Super Cena kind of deal where, he's outweighed by somebody by 150 pounds, but he still finds a way to beat him.
Yeah.
He's got, he's in the ring with Brian Cage, a guy whose right leg is bigger than Darby Allin, and he beats him. Tell me how, I'm sorry, I simply don't buy it anymore.
And maybe this is a way to get him off TV for a while, because he's got to have some kind of an injury that he's nursing. There's got to be something, whether it's, a broken bone here and there, or it's, something. And then he can just go away for a month.
Well, here's the thing. Ever since AEW started, me, you, and RJ, all we could do is talk about how Darby Allin's indestructible. Darby Allin's indestructible. He does this, and he does this, and he does this, and he does this, and he keeps getting up. He's getting to the point where it's almost too good for a video game.
Yeah.
Isaac, you've been waiting. Go.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. And Darby Allin has been putting in the work, and he needs to drop the belt. We all agree that there. The balance of with the same thing we're talking with Cena and Super Cena. There's no way that Darby Allin should be beating Brian Cage. We agree with that. But you look at somebody like Cena and him facing Brock Lesnar, that the balance and the body type and everything else is something totally different.
Right.
Than Darby.
But the point I'm trying to make is insurmountable odds. Things that one person should not be able to overcome. And Super Cena overcame them. Super Cena beat the entire Nexus by himself. Things of that nature. Super Cena's getting beaten to hell by Edge and Big Show and ends up getting both of them on his shoulders at the exact same freaking time. Yeah, we're circling back to last week's episode now. But the thing is, with the whole Darby Allin thing, it's the same insurmountable odds. And somehow, some way, Darby Allin is landing on his feet. Since there's a cat right here, I'll make that reference.
But I do see what you're saying. At some point, reality does have to set in here. At some point, it reminds me of something The Rock said in one of his videos. One of the first videos that he ever did, the video releases that WWE ever put out. In a candidly honest moment, he says that The Rock wins every single time. That's not telling a very good story. It's not really relatable. So I have to be beaten down, and I have to, rise up against the odds eventually, and then I can, be triumphant in the end. And that's why you saw The Rock. The Rock lost quite a bit, for a top guy. I mean, there's not enough show to talk about all the times that he lost. And it's to the point with Allin where it's just not believable anymore. Like you said, Brian Cage should wipe the floor with him.
3 words, and we'll date back to the 80s on this one. Hogan must pose.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have to end it that way, and it's and for me, it's starting. For me, I'm starting to sour on Darby Allin the same way fans soured on Cena. Soured on Roman. Things of that nature. I hope, truth be told, I hope they can repackage Darby. Obviously, keep the same, keep the same face paint and skateboard and everything else he's doing, turn him heel. Find some way to bring the darkness out of that character. I think that'd be great because I'm not buying it anymore. Isaac, you got anything else on this you want to add before we move on?
No, I think you guys all hit the right points.
Okay.
I agree.
So we're gonna wrap up AEW with one final topic, and I'm gonna start it with a question. Why in the name of Zeus's asshole is Michael Naka-freaking-Zawa carrying the AAA, Impact, and TNA championships? I'm sorry, but if I'm rewind, rant mode on. If I'm a promoter of any of those two companies, I'm topping trees right now because I've got some scrub that probably has about as much I have some scrub who is known for pouring baby oil on himself in the middle of a match, carrying my world championship. Hell no. You have a guy whose gimmick is the same as the fat dude in the thong from WWE during like the Shawn and Hunter DX reunion versus the McMahon's era. I cannot Big Dick Johnson. That was his. That was his.
How can you not remember his name? Shame on you.
I'm trying
10
to
points
scrub
from
that.
Gryffindor.
I'm trying to scrub that from my memory, and I'm Ravenclaw. So you know what? Screw you, hippie. Thank you, Isaac. But you're literally having Japanese Big Dick Johnson holding your championship belt while Kenny Omega's doing the whole flashing the crowd while only holding the AEW World title. I'm sorry, but when Ultimo Dragon held 9 championships in the mid-90s, that sumbitch rolled up into the ring on Monday Nitro, draped in every freaking one of them. John Cena, when he held both when it was the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship and it was both belts, he strapped both of them together and wore them around his neck. Even Cena did it. You mean to tell me that Kenny Omega, the best wrestler on the planet, cannot be bothered, to be the belt collector? He seems to only, he and AEW seem to only give a flying shit about one of those championships, which, circling back to last week, proves me right. Rant mode off.
Do either of you think that Andrade is going to beat him for the AAA championship? Because that match has my attention. That's the match I will try like mad to watch somehow.
Dude, I'm sorry, and I hate the way WWE booked him, but I'd watch Andrade El Idolo. Let's get his name out there now. I would watch Andrade El Idolo wrestle damn near anyone. He's that freaking good. And we saw
him live.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. And if
last time we went to an NXT show,
right? If you have any doubts about how good he is, go back and watch his NXT run. Damn, his match with Gargano. Enough said. But I'm sorry, but Nakazawa carrying those championships to me is a slap in the face.
It's disrespectful in every single way because it's someone else. You're supposed to be belt collector. I'd be bringing everything out on me. That's what you should be doing. That's right. How you promote the other companies. You don't have somebody up to the side holding that stuff.
Yeah. This forbidden door bullshit that we're talking about. And yes, that's what it really is, boys and girls. You can't convince, and as of right now, you can't convince me otherwise until they actually change something. It's bullshit. This forbidden door garbage is, again, proving my point from last week. It's a vehicle just to make Kenny look relevant to American wrestling fans that did not watch New Japan. That's all it is. All there is to it. The people that did not know who Kenny Omega is, well, the only thing that we can do is put every championship imaginable on him instead of just letting him wrestle everybody under God's hot sun and letting him prove that he's that damn good. By the way, he ain't the best in the world anymore. The guy that's the best in the world right now happens to be holding the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and his name's Will freaking Ospreay. By the way, called that last year. Isaac, let me ask you a question. You've known me for several years. Do you ever get tired of me being right?
I'm so glad that you're so humble about what you're saying.
I mean, right, where is the hang up button? Where did they move it? The hang up button. Oh, there it is. It's down there. Okay, goodbye.
What's that line that Wesley Snipes had in White Man Can't Jump? It is hard work being this good.
Yeah, it's hard being this damn good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I make these comments on our shows, and it's like I speak them into existence. And I'm just like, well, son of a gun. There's another one. Hey, guys, wrong answers only. Who's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble? Patrick Gyllenhaal.
Is he done yet?
No. B. How long have you known me? How long have I been your best friend?
Too long.
And you're asking me if I'm done yet.
Oh, the answer to that, people, is no. He's not done yet.
No, that is not the correct answer. The correct answer to the question, "Am I done?" is simply this. Never. In a word, no. In 2 words, hell no. No. I love you, babe. Hey, what's your guys' take on this? Because I can bitch and moan about this all freaking night, but I'm sorry, but seeing Nakazawa with those championship belts and Kenny actually putting him over, holding those titles. Look at how cool Nakazawa looks.
It'd be one thing.
Give a shit about him.
It'd be one thing if, Kenny had 2 of them and Don Callis came out with another one. At least that would make that would have some plausibility to it. But all I really know Nakazawa from is when he shows up on Being the Elite, and they make fun of him for, whatever they're making fun of him for on that show. My personal opinion, he really hasn't done much to deserve to be elevated to that point where I get to carry these championships for Kenny, and I don't know that I would want to do that anyway. I'm being your lackey. I'm not really there's no payoff for me. Yeah, I get on TV.
He gets to do it because he's Kenny's friend. He was Kenny's friend in New Japan. When they came over, when AEW formed, he came over. Why? Because he's Kenny's friend. He is the lackey. And I wanted to jump in when you mentioned Don Callis. It would make sense if Kenny had a couple and Don Callis had one. Isaac hates bringing up this guy. Isaac can't stand this guy, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'd like to point out that not once in his damn career, since his return, did Brock Lesnar ever carry the WWE Championship. All it was Paul Heyman going, obviously I'm out of frame right now, but you get the point. Heyman always carried the belt for Brock. Brock only wore it going to the ring to whoop someone's ass. For any promo, never wore it, never had it over his shoulder. And the rare times that he did, the reason he had it over his shoulder was because Heyman handed it to him. And then Brock later on would hand it back, and Paul Heyman would go back into his pose again of holding it up like it was the Ark of the Covenant. You know, oh.
I mean, this thought just came to me too. I could rattle off the names of about 6 guys right now on AEW whose development is being stunted at the expense of Kenny Omega being at the top. And number 1 on that list is Hangman Adam Page.
I'm fine with that.
I know we want to get that payoff when there's fans in attendance of an appreciable amount, but you look at Hangman, you look at Pac, and you look at Orange Cassidy. Now that should be an interesting match. If Cassidy beats Pac again, and then it's Cassidy versus Kenny Omega, that should be a really interesting match. I don't know that it's happened yet.
No. I would really be interested to see how that build goes. That could be fun.
Yes.
I don't think it'd be as fun as the Cassidy and Jericho build, but I think it would be fun. But I agree with you that it's cutting the legs out from guys like Pac, guys like Orange Cassidy, people like that. I'm sorry. Right now, I want it to cut the legs out from under Hangman. Because I've been talking about it on this show. I want that slow build, that scratch from the bottom. I wanted Hangman to lose to Hardy and then be broke. And the only people that would touch the guy with a 90-foot pole was the Dark Order. And then the Dark Order builds him up. You know, build him up. Slow process. You know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, that whole deal. And then you finally hit that point where you now hit the part of the racetrack where you get the turbo boost in the video game, and now we're off. And now I'm not building momentum anymore. It's, Hangman, I'm coming for you like Booker T coming for Hulk Hogan.
The part of the racetrack where you would have hoped that Midnight Bourbon at the Kentucky Derby would have found that extra gear, he didn't find it. he came in like next to last.
Yep.
My niece, her 2 horses finished in the top 3. She's looking at the list while we're making dinner, and she goes, I want this horse and I want this horse. The winner and the 3rd place horse were the ones she picked, knowing nothing about any of the horses because she doesn't watch horse racing.
Damn, we guys, we need to road trip and take Kay with us.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas.
Gee whiz. I mean, and then, the Lovebirds horse, she thought the name Soup and Sandwich sounded really good. She's like, I'm going to pick Soup and Sandwich. And he was like in the top 3 for like the first turn. And then he went that way. And she goes, oh, no soup and sandwich.
Sorry, no soup for you. You come back, will ya?
Oh my God.
Isaac, your thoughts on this before we move on to the trivia?
Yeah, I'm putting all the belts on Kenny is, it's great to a certain degree, but so many people are sitting back waiting for their shot. And here they got a great opportunity to make someone else, relevant. And they're not doing it right now. And you can't keep putting people down. It's just the way I think.
Yeah, couple other things real quick, just some rapid fire things. Chime in on these things if you got something. If not, we'll move on. Looking forward next week to seeing SCU and the Bucks. SCU will lose. They'll break up. I'm fine with that. Frankie Kazarian still got a good bit left in the tank. Thank you, Jenny. Wouldn't mind seeing him go a little bit more. Daniels is old. I'm sorry. I've always loved Christopher Daniels, but he needs to just go back to just be in talent relations and let Kazarian finish out his career as a solo guy. Also, wouldn't mind seeing Kazarian turn on Daniels to make that happen. Looking forward to that. Honestly, I hate saying this because I really don't think this is a good idea. I think I figured out the duo that's going to take the titles off the Bucks. And it's unfortunately not going to be FTR.
I'm trying to think of who their Varsity Blondes.
Moxley and Kingston.
I'd be fine with that.
I'm okay with that.
Real quick, I think that's what we're going to be building to, because I wouldn't be surprised if someone from the Super Elite costs Moxley the U.S. title against Nagata.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking forward to that match too, because I don't know anything about that cat. So.
Oh, dude, Yuji Nagata was a badass in the mid '90s when he was doing work in WCW, and then that was his excursion from New Japan, and I think he was TV and U.S. title. He won championships. WCW used him well. Had a hell of a feud with Ultimo Dragon. Sonny Ono managed him. Sonny Ono managed Dragon. Dragon turned face. And then Sonny Ono brought in Yuji Nagata, and those two guys beat the piss out of each other, and it was just banger after banger after banger. Good stuff. You need to look up some of his WCW stuff. But yeah, good stuff.
And I'm sure he's got stuff on New Japan World too.
Oh God, yeah. Once he came back to New Japan, he just started. I don't think he won the IWGP Heavyweight title, but I think he had plenty of amazing feuds and matches. And Suzuki, enough said.
Cool deal.
All right, so Brian, floor is yours. And it's time to play Wrestling with Egos Trivia. And here's your host, Brian Rio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever installment of Wrestling with Trivia. We're going to do this Survivor style, and what I mean by Survivor style is I've got a category in which there will be a multitude of correct answers. The source for these correct answers, unless I say otherwise, is usually WWE.com or Wikipedia. And I cross-reference this against numerous sources, so I'm doing my best here. I'm only one guy. My crack staff research department is very small. So
in other words, accuracy level 90%.
Yeah, accuracy level, I took great pains to make sure that this was as accurate as possible.
Worst case, 90% accuracy.
Yes, I will give you a category. We will pick a number to see who starts each time. You have 30 seconds, and I will time you to give me a correct answer from the category. And you will go back and forth until somebody either gives a wrong answer or can't come up with one. You win the category by giving 2 consecutive correct answers. So, for example, if we're in a category, if you were in a category and Isaac gives the correct answer and then Patrick goes, and either can't answer the clock or can't come up with one or gives an incorrect answer, Isaac then gets to win the category by giving one more correct answer. Follow?
Yes.
If there is another correct answer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 5 categories prepared for you. So this is a best of 5 situation to declare the first ever Wrestling with Egos Trivia champions. Gentlemen, Isaac, are you ready?
Isaac, good luck to you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Your first category, it's a small category. I figure we'll just start off with you dip your toe in the water and see how you like it. Wrestlers who have taken a championship off of John Cena. Wrestlers who have taken a championship off of John Cena. And this does not include Ohio Valley Wrestling. I could not go back that far. So this is main roster.
Okay.
Patrick, I am thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Closest to the number without going over. What is the number? Isaac, what is the number? You
7.
can't say 3.
7.
The number is 9. Isaac gets to go first. So Isaac, would you please give me the name of a wrestler who took a championship off of John Cena?
Edge.
Correct. On 2 occasions, if I'm not mistaken. Patrick, action to you.
Carlito.
That's what we call a deep cut, ladies and gentlemen. Carlito is correct.
Say, sadly enough, the first 2 guys I thought when you said John Cena were Edge and Carlito.
Isaac, another answer.
Brock Lesnar.
Correct. Patrick?
Charles Montgomery Punk.
Yes. Isaac?
Roman Reigns.
Incorrect. Incorrect. So action to Patrick. Now, Patrick, you need to get this right or Isaac's back in. I didn't mean to mention that before.
Hashtag deep cut. David Otunga.
I don't have him on my list.
David Otunga and McGillicuddy were tag champs. The Miz and Cena beat them, and then the Nexus. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, I did not find that. Now there are.
I'm wrong.
There are tag champions.
I'm stopping where I'm at. I'm wrong. Okay. Isaac's back in.
Isaac, you're back in.
I want to say Triple H.
Incorrect. He's not on this list.
I'm not doing well on that.
Okay, now I'm going back to that same match. Justin Gabriel. I'm calling bull on that one.
I mean, you might, now to be fair, you might be right, but I did not see that lineage.
The core were the tag champs. It was the core, not the Nexus. It was the core that were the tag champs. I thought it was Slater and Gabriel.
Because Cena never held the current iteration of the tag championship, so I had to find the previous.
Bullshit. He held it with the Miz. He held it with the.
Listen to what I said. He did not hold the Raw or SmackDown tag championships with anybody. So I had to go back and find the previous tag champs lineage, and at no point does it mention any of those names from either the Nexus or the core. Now I could be wrong if the resource I used is incorrect. You know, then it's on me.
All right. I'll concede.
Isaac?
Hey,
Randy Orton. I'm sorry.
Hey, real quick. You better pray to God I'm wrong. You'll never hear the end of it.
I've never heard the end of it about a lot of things. So it's like, Isaac, you're back in.
I said Randy Orton.
Yes. Also on multiple occasions. Patrick.
Who was the champ going into that chamber? Bray Wyatt?
Correct. FYI, on my list, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 names left on my list.
Seth
Isaac,
Rollins.
action to you.
Seth Rollins.
Correct.
AJ.
Incorrect. Isaac, this is to win the category.
Dean Ambrose.
Not on this list. Patrick's back in.
The Undertaker.
Incorrect.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I was kind of grasping at straws. Isaac, for the win.
For the win.
I want to say Kevin Owens, but I'm not sure. I don't think that's right.
Is that an answer?
That is an answer.
Not on the list.
So me for the win, right?
You for the win.
Rey Mysterio.
20 seconds. Incorrect. At this point, the next person to give me the correct answer.
Right.
Here we go.
Death. We're in sudden death.
Sudden death. I want to say Big Show.
Nope.
Kane?
No.
Bless America on a stick.
Back to Isaac. I just need to give me his name.
I want to say Shawn Michaels, but I know it's not right. But I'm going to say Shawn Michaels anyway.
No. Patrick?
Orlando Jordan.
Orlando Jordan for the win.
I'm over here thinking, I've literally been thinking, who the hell took the U.S. title off him to set up him beating JBL?
So you guys were able to name Carlito, Orlando Jordan, Seth Rollins, Edge, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Bray Wyatt. According to my research, and again, I will stipulate that if I made mistakes, if I didn't come up with a comprehensive list of these and we discover that people were right all along, then I will humbly beg for forgiveness and, castigate myself in front of the world and all that kind of stuff. We did not mention Booker T, Alberto Del Rio,
I should have known.
Rob Van Dam.
Son of a...
Oh, God damn it.
Sheamus twice.
Sheamus.
Batista.
I was going to say Batista.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 2015, I think.
Yeah.
Should have known that one too.
Yeah.
And then the tag championships for sure were taken off of him by the Hardy Boys when he was tag champs with Shawn Michaels and Ted DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes.
Wow. Okay.
Now, again, in my research, I found no Nexus or Core members doing that. And I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Well, let's be honest, and I'm not trying to, gloat or anything. Doesn't matter because I'm the one that answered both of those, and I got it right. So I can't even, so protest doesn't even count. Okay. I just want to make sure, I just want to find out if I'm right or not, that I can give you unholy hell.
Yes.
All right.
Category numero dos.
2
musicians who have performed at WrestleMania.
Musicians who have performed at WrestleMania.
Musicians who have performed at WrestleMania. Patrick, since Isaac won the honors on the first category, you will start us off on this category.
Okay, I'll get the easy one out of the way, Bad Bunny.
Hashtag San Benito.
Wait,
yes, he is on the list.
Clarification. Performed in the ring?
When I say performed, I mean sung, but I will stipulate Bad Bunny because he's the obvious answer in the forefront of everybody's mind.
What? No, are we talking performed or performed in the ring?
Sang.
Okay. See, I was taking it in a different direction. I'm like, this is a very short category. Okay, never mind. So, a musical performance from a musician.
Yes.
Okay.
But I would stipulate Bad Bunny because I have him on the list, and he was going to be. If either one of you had started the category, I bet you would have said that because it just happened.
Right. So, musical performances, Isaac. I'm trying to help you out.
Yes. A side question. Does that include the national anthem?
Yes, that's considered a musical performance.
Okay. Boom.
This is going to be fun.
And there's some names on this list that I bet.
Okay, let's go. First, Hall of Famers. And I'm kind of pissed off at him right now. Run DMC. They're there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm about to say, yeah, they definitely are. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Gladys Knight.
Yes. Isaac.
Hold on, wait, I'm sorry. Aretha Franklin.
Sister E. Patrick.
Ray Charles.
He's on my. Where is he?
He's there.
Ray. There he is. Isaac.
Limp Biscuit. I did say it. I said that shit. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I went there.
Oh my God. Where are they?
They're there.
Patrick.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yes, sir. Isaac.
Michelle Williams.
Yes.
I got to get it out of the way because, if I'm not the one that if I don't say this answer, I feel like I'm selling myself out. We are Motorhead.
And we're here to kick your ass. Yes. Isaac. There's still a lot of names left in this list.
This is a big ass category.
This is about 3 times the length of the John Cena category.
All right, go, Isaac.
Give me a second. Hold on, wait. I had something in my head. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. No.
15 seconds.
Joan Jett. Sorry. Yes!
That was.
But I got it.
That was a razor thin.
Doesn't matter if you went by an inch or a mile.
I was about to call time on you, good sir. Just keep the clock, keep that clock ticking. Wow.
I was prepared. I wasn't prepared to celebrate it by singing Snoop Dogg, Dogg.
Yeah. Isaac, back to you, sir. Back to you. Always comes around. Back to you. He did not perform at a WrestleMania, by the way. Wow. 15 seconds.
Can't think of me right now. I'm going blank.
I'm going to have to ask you for an answer.
The band that introed Rey Mysterio, WrestleMania 22, but I don't know their name.
I have to push you for an answer.
Don't know.
Patrick for the win.
Okay, I'm not gonna steal Isaac's answer because that's just kind of deflating. So I'll give a different one. Salt and pepper.
Correct.
Can I see how many more I can get?
Sure.
Okay. Ash Costello from New Year's Day.
Yes.
Rev Theory.
Yes.
Wale.
He was not on the list.
He performed.
Wale was at WrestleMania this year. He performed Big E's entrance.
That's right. He wasn't on the reference that I had then.
Okay.
So
well,
okay.
I'm still right on that one. Cool. John Legend.
Yes.
Fifth Harmony.
Yes.
Willie motherfucking Nelson.
Yes.
Reba McEntire.
Yes.
Little Richard.
He's there.
He's there. WrestleMania 10.
Yes.
Here's Isaac's answer. POD.
Yep. Payable on death.
Okay. Now I'm running into the hard part. Saliva.
Yes.
Drowning Pool.
Yes.
By the way, I love metal. Florida.
I totally forgot about him.
One of my personal favorites.
Chloe and Hallie.
That impresses me. Yes.
God, who did America the Beautiful to start night one? Because there was somebody good.
Phoebe Rexha.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, I'm tapping out from that point because I'm gonna rack my brain.
The other ones that were not named, Mr. 305, Pitbull.
Oh.
Kid Rock.
I should have known Kid Rock.
Fantasia. Patrick, I'm surprised you didn't say Nita Strauss.
Mother!
Fucker, that's what I was thinking.
Travis Barker, Skylar Gray, and Kid Ink. Robert Goulet.
Oh, shit.
Nicole Scherzinger, Aloe Black, Ashanti, Boys to Men, David Guetta, Carrie Hilson, Ice Mother T.
Fucking T.
And then Mark Crozier this year.
That was his name. The guy that wrote Bray Wyatt's thing.
And Living Color for CM Punk a couple of years ago.
Jesus.
How the F do I forget Cult of Personality? We're at your freaking house and Justin Roberts announced them and I marked out.
Yes. Okay, Isaac.
I'm disappointed in myself.
It's okay, brother. We're testing this out. We're seeing how it works, but
Isaac, can I, if it's any consolation with the fact that I kept going, I was like Thanos on that one. I was inevitable.
right now, Patrick leads 2 categories to 0. Okay, so it being a best of 5, you need to get this one to stay alive, and then we'll talk about what comes next. So, let's see. Multiple time Intercontinental Champions. So you had to have won this title more than once. And Isaac, since Patrick led off the musicians question,
Isaac was going to lead off on this one anyway. I was going to give him. I was going to give him the floor.
Give me the name of a multiple-time Intercontinental Champion.
I want to say Macho Man.
He was not a multiple-time Intercontinental Champion.
Sorry, Isaac. JEFFJARRET. That's double J. Jeff Jarrett.
Ain't I great?
Ain't I? Hey, I'm asking that question about myself right now. Ain't I great?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm not taking that one. So Jarrett's off the board. Macho's a wrong answer. Isaac, go again.
Isaac, give me another one.
I still want to say Ricky and the Dragon Steamboat, but that's not the case.
I'll help you out. Come up with a different answer. Steamer only won it once.
Chris Benoit.
Yes. Patrick.
Razor Ramon.
Yes. Isaac.
Rocky Maivia.
Correct.
Jericho.
Correct.
Don't even start with me, boy.
Triple H.
Correct.
Sean.
Correct. Isaac.
John Cena.
Not on the list.
I don't think he's won it.
He has not won it, and I was surprised by that.
I
I had to hit refresh on my. I'm like, wait, is that what?
What?
Sorry, Isaac. The Miz.
I was about to say that.
Correct. So Patrick wins the inaugural edition of Wrestling with Trivia. Here are the other multiple-time Intercontinental Championships in reverse chronological order because I'm just cool like that.
Most recent first. Okay.
Yes. Sami Zayn, The Prince, Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Lashley, Dean Ambrose / John Moxley, Kevin Owens. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I forgot about Barrett.
Wade Barrett. Seth Rollins, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, John Morrison, the Samoan Bulldozer, Shelton Benjamin, Christian, Rob Van Dam, Edge, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, China, Val Venus, Goldust, Owen Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mr. Perfect, Bret Hitman Hart, Ultimate Warrior, Tito Santana, Don Baracco, and the OG Pedro Morales.
JYD never held a title in WWE, Bubba.
Tag belt.
I don't know about that.
I don't think JYD ever held a title in WWE. Because he was one of my favorite wrestlers as a kid. And as I got older, I kind of looked back on it and realized he never had a championship. I mean, we can do some research later, but I don't think he ever did.
When he was, I think it was WrestleMania 3 or WrestleMania 4, when he tagged with Tito Santana, tag belt, and then Tito got hurt at that match.
That was Rick Martel, Bubba. That was Strike Force.
Cheeto team with JYD at some point in time. I'm pretty sure of that, but whatever. Obviously, I'm totally wrong tonight, so it doesn't really matter what I think.
Well, it totally matters what you think. Yeah, I don't. Well, you're a boy. Your opinion matters. Brian.
Yes. I'm looking it up.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'd like to thank the Academy for bestowing upon me this inaugural championship. It is rightfully so that the inaugural championship be bestowed on these shoulders as the Reverend of Durant, as the pastor of Pissed Off, as the single most correct human being in the history of wrestling with egos. Mr. I'm not wrong. I'd like to thank all the little people in the world like Big Isaac and my boy Brian and Reginald Johnson Eisenman and even Jenny right here. I'd like to thank everybody for making this happen. Don't you dare cut my...
Let me take this opportunity with his microphone cut off to say that the Junkyard Dog has in fact not ever held a championship in World Wrestling Entertainment. He's held championships in other promotions. He is, though, a one-time Slammy Award winner for Best Singles Performer from 1986, for whatever that's worth. But that's no championships.
What were the other categories, B?
The other categories that we did not get to. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you because I did lots of hella research here, and I want to save it for future editions of Wrestling with Trivia that I moderate with people. So nice try. You almost got me.
I wanted to keep playing.
and we'll look at the format. We'll see if we can tweak it, and I know people want to get me involved. The Lovebird even said, well, why aren't you playing? And I'm like, well, I'm moderating. We can't all play because I'll just read the answers right off my sheet of paper here, that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
well, you know what? Next time we do it, I'll moderate.
Okay.
Next time we do it, I'll moderate. And you know what? Since we really don't have a whole lot going on, let's say in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. It works for me. That's
a couple of weeks. We don't have a whole lot going on in terms of wrestling right now. We're in that lull where we're done with Mania. So, yeah, a couple of weeks. Gentlemen, been a good show. Been a very, what's the word? Victorious show.
Moving on.
Moving on. Seriously, guys, thanks for watching this week. Thanks for the ride. I hope you guys had as much fun this week as we did, because I can speak for all three of us. This was a fun show. So, the only thing to me that would have made tonight better would have been, instead of me kicking Isaac's ass, if Isaac wouldn't have been here and you would have brought me the head of Reginald Johnson Eisenman. RJ, wherever you are, I don't know what rock you're hiding under. Bring your ass here so I can finish you off once and for all. I've been wanting to cut a promo for a while since Brian cut a promo all those many months ago. And I was like, ooh, great time. Let's go for it. I promise I have not been drinking, but for some reason, I got my second COVID shot today. And within the last 30 to 45 minutes, I'm feeling a little bit hyper. God help me. And I'm literally running on about 4 hours of sleep. No, we're not cutting my mic. You know why? I control the mics. I'm the one recording the show. And that's also live to tape, so I can do whatever the hell I want in post-production. If I want to make you sound like a duck, guess what? Quack, quack, sucker.
All right, mighty duck.
All right, hey, quack. Hey. When the roosters are crowing and the cows are turning circles in the pastures, ducks fly together. Yes, I just went there from Mighty Ducks 2. Get off me. Seriously, let's go ahead and get out of here for Brian. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts, gentlemen? I promise I will keep my mouth shut.
We know that's not going to happen. Anyway,
it's a lost cause at this point.
Right, exactly. Look, before I get out, happy Mother's Day to every mother that's out there, including my mom and anyone in my family. That goes to your wives, to your moms, aunts, uncles, everybody on the list, whatever.
Even those ladies that are moms and you don't necessarily like said lady.
Yes, we will include them as well. To everyone, I hope that they have a safe Mother's Day. Say hi to your moms for me. Wish them all well.
Say hi to your mom for me. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny as hell.
But wish them all well. Look, have a special time. If you get to spend that time with your mom, great. Especially over this past year with everyone that's gone through what they've gone through. Seriously, if you have that time to spend with your family, take it. If not, do the best that you can. That's my life.
B, closing thoughts.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support as always. We appreciate your feedback. Keep it coming.
Amen.
And we'll be back next week to talk some more wrestling.
Yep. Thanks to all the moms. Especially thanks to all the moms affiliated with our show. You know who you are. We try to keep names out. We try to keep names out of the way. Hello Nurse. Lady A. The list goes on and on. So thanks for being y'all. You're awesome. So until then, because it's Mother's Day, and this is one mother of a show. That was terrible. God, that was terrible. And on that note, we're getting the hell out of here because apparently I have run out of funny for tonight. Hey, it's a rarity, y'all. Tonight I was actually on my freaking game. Yeah, hey. That's like, a super duper rare, like green moon or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, for Big Isaac, for Brian, for the disembodied voice of Reginald Johnson Eisenman, my name's Patrick. Thanks for watching Wrestling with Egos. We'll see you next week because this is why we love wrestling. And this is why I love being right. But mostly why we love wrestling.